In the 2020s, a pandemic crippled the world. Some panicked, some denied it. These two guys stayed home, drank, and watched movies. These are the Jaymeson tapes.
Hey, Abysmii.
What's up?
I have something here in my left hand.
Okay, well, tell me what it is.
It's a glass of peanut butter nitro stout.
Excellent.
I have something in my right hand as well.
Okay.
Shot glass full of Chambord.
What type of Chambord?
Well, the Chambord is a black raspberry liqueur.
Okay.
So, theoretically, drop this shot in my right hand into the beer in my left hand.
Uh-huh.
Might taste like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Well, let's find out.
Okay, I'm gonna find out right now. Holy shit, that's fucking delicious.
All right.
Ooh, so what did we watch today? The Poughkeepsie tapes?
We were, but Sade pulled an executive order on us and said, no, we gotta watch The Void. So we did that instead.
Oh, right, that is the movie we just watched.
Yes.
I forgot. No, I didn't forget, because this movie rules.
This movie's really good.
So, hey there, everybody. Spoiler for the full review, this movie's awesome, and welcome to the Jaymeson tapes.
Yeah.
I am Alan. I'm not as drunk as I'd like to be, but I plan on getting there.
Yeah, usually we're a bit more shithoused at this point, but we just kind of stopped to watch the movie.
Instead, we were just watching a really fucking good movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm still processing it. Like, we literally just stopped, took a 5-minute break, and good lord, wow.
Yeah, this was good.
Wow. Man.
And I theorized about the effects team. I think you will be quite surprised to hear, Abysmii.
Uh-huh.
This was the same director as Psycho Goreman.
God damn, okay.
Yeah. They are mostly known for doing comedic horror films. Then in the middle of that, they dropped the fucking Void on us.
Well, don't know much about the budget. I know that they crowdfunded 82 grand for the creature effects alone.
Worth it.
Worth every dollar. And it grossed about 150,000. Don't know if it made its money back, but good lord, very much deserves it. Holy shit. There's that eternal question of why can't anybody adapt Lovecraftian stuff to the screen well? And I think the problem is everyone tries to just take like any given Lovecraft story and then try to do that. And it's been done. It's rare. But Colorado Space, for example, I think is really, really good. But
Colorado Space rules.
I think like the trick is not to just adapt Lovecraft directly. It's to do something Lovecraftian. And good fuck is this movie Lovecraftian and does it very, very, very well. I have not seen something this on point in a long time.
You can do Lovecraft. You can also just get Lovecraft.
Mm-hmm.
This movie gets Lovecraft.
It's, oh man, like everything from the pacing, the setting, the themes explored, like, fuck, dude. Like, and I'm reading very, very, like, I'm skimming through reviews and no one fucking understands this movie. No one deserves this movie as far as the professional critics. Jesus Christ, this is so good. This is so solid. Like, there's no, I don't think I had a single complaint.
Even like a nitpicking complaint we had in hindsight, I don't feel as bad about.
Yeah.
We had talked about Dr. Exposition.
Little hackney.
Yeah.
We get it. Stop. Don't need to know this. I get it.
So anyway, exposition.
Yeah, and maybe you could lose that, but this was a 90-minute runtime. Like, they already were very lean.
It is a tight 90 minutes.
Yeah.
This movie does not waste a fucking second of your time.
No, and even during that exposition dump, they're still mostly transitioning from one scene to another, so you're not, like, losing action, you're not losing plot progression. So, yeah, even then, like, the tiniest, most minor of nitpicks that I could even think about.
So, we want to get into it, or do we just want to suck this movie's dick off?
I mean, the review is going to be just sucking this movie off. Oh man, okay, yeah. Part of me, and I feel bad because Sade has, as usual, written up this very concise, very detailed summary, but I don't. I feel like okay, sorry. Let me back up because this is going to take a little bit to explain.
Yeah.
Sade said, "Have either of you seen The Void?" And I said no. And Sade said, I cannot believe you, of all people, Abysmii, have not seen The Void. And I understand exactly what he means by that at this point.
Yeah.
So, bearing that in mind, I really do not want to spoil too much for our listeners. I want people to see this.
As someone who loves Lovecraft and adores Psycho Gorman, I cannot believe I've never heard of this fucking movie.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, I mean, I think we can talk a lot about this movie without spoiling too much, to be perfectly honest. And maybe we'll do like a minor spoiler section. But really, like, if you have not seen The Void, please go watch it. It's really, really good. And
also, getting into it a little bit, as a cab an individual as I am, we are 2 for 2 on likable cop protagonists.
we are, and like we were drawing comparisons to Last Shift like within the first 15 minutes. It's like, oh no, not again. Okay, so we're spending time in the last night of a municipal building.
Oh no!
Is this just the Last Shift but in a hospital?
Yeah, I don't know how much time it is between like start of movie to the first real like fuck yeah monster effect.
Yeah,
it's not long.
No, and if it is long, it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
I mean, we open up with God. I'm already getting to spoilers. I'll just say we open up with action that is intriguing enough and kind of plants the mystery in your head. It does not waste time. There's no couple driving, up to their remote cabin and talking, and you're thinking, will they, won't they keep this relationship going or some shit like that. No, you're dropped into the action, but it's not overtly done. I would say seamlessly goes from scene to scene, character to character, what our conflict is and what our mystery is very, very well. At no point was I like thinking, man, we're gonna have a lot of downtime right now. There's just a lot of talking. There's none of that.
We're probably like, unlike previous episodes, there's probably not going to be a lot of clips of us like
no.
Probably not going to be a lot of clips of us like joking and as we're like watching the movie, because we were for the most part just watching this fucking movie.
I would say like in the beginning, definitely there, like maybe the first third, like maybe a little bit over a quarter, but then after that, yeah, no, like we just kind of locked in and watched and just occasionally went, damn, that's good.
So I guess let's kind of set up the premise.
Sure.
We start at what looks to be like an abandoned house.
Uh-huh.
Some dude gets away from the house, but Larry.
We did think it was
Larry and other Larry.
Okay. So yeah, this opening shot with the house, like, I can't not look at that and think, oh no, it's the Bye Bye Man, because it's that fucking house that all of those kids were in. That should have been the real horror in Bye Bye Man, and there's just a dude shooting people with a gun, and we're like, oh no, Larry's made it into another movie.
So these people are going around, our 2 Larrys are mowing down everyone in the house. Someone gets away, but then one of those Larrys just douses a woman in gasoline and sets her on fucking fire.
Yep.
And then opening credits.
Yeah.
Oh, and we do get a shot of a triangle on the door of the old house.
We do, and that triangle will come back.
Triangle is important. God, man, I really don't want to get into it too much.
We can be vague, yeah.
So one thing I'm going to say that I hope doesn't spoil too much is, even though they are 2 entirely fucking different movies, this movie has a lot of the same themes as Lamb.
Yes. I don't know why we keep pigeonholing ourselves. Unintentionally, we keep just like finding these movies.
Good news, everyone. Every third movie we watch is going to be about the pain of loss as a mother.
Well, later this month, I'm pretty sure we're both going to watch fucking Men from A24, so...
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of birth, rebirth, resurrection, the trials and tribulations of childbirth, loss, insert loss joke here. And I guess that's one other nitpick we had was, oh, okay, we get it. You lost your baby. You'll do anything to bring it back, even if it's a terrible idea and it unlocks a, terrible Lovecraftian monster or something.
Had that complaint, but then this movie just fucking earned it.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I can't, and in so many ways too. Like, there's not just one instance of it, it's all over the place in a very Lovecraftian way, exploring the edges and capacities of science as humanity knows it, and the kind of almost psychotic drive people have to push science to solve problems that nature presents, and asking like, okay, well, if you push the envelope enough, are you actually going to be okay with what you find? Because there is a line in the movie that says it's amazing what you'll find if you just seek it out, but that is being said by a crazy person who has murdered a bunch of people. And oh god damn, yeah, this movie gets Lovecraft so well.
Yeah,
like I cannot gush about that enough.
We liked Last Shift, save for the ending.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is so much better than it.
It is. Last Shift we were definitely like laughing more at, but we could have those laughs at its expense. But no, this one just doubles down and like knows what it's doing. This is such a capable film. Oh man.
I'm sure the thing everyone is going to say about this movie is something practical effects.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
I brought up the Psycho Gorman thing earlier because while we were watching, I saw the practical effects and mentioned Psycho Gorman, and I was like, I bet they have some involvement here. These are your practical effects guys. You're doing the Lord's work.
Seriously, keep it up.
Not a missed opportunity. So good.
And what I love is that team knows when to show their practical effects and when to obscure their practical effects. There's a lot
100%.
It's bathed in either like shadow or like red light, and knows how to play with color. And that's also on the cinematographer as well, of course. But like, there's a scene in there where they have a lot of things on screen and it jumps around a lot. And then normally in a movie in this genre, that would be a cluttered mess. But here, it's just been explained previously in the film what these things are. And it does show them, but it does not overstay its welcome. It gets the job done. Fuck me.
Sure does.
Oh my gosh. Like this
Sorry, everyone, if you didn't want to just come hear us just talk about how much a fucking movie rules, but this movie fucking rules.
It's really, I just hope we're hyping you up to go watch it. That's what I want to achieve here.
Go watch. I'm going to say it.
Turn this shit off and go watch
it. We're talking S tier for the Jaymeson tapes.
Mm-hmm.
It is fucking Bloody Pit of Horror and The Void.
Which are two opposite ends of the spectrum, but
which are complete opposite ends of the spectrum. Like tone and like everything, really. But watch both of those movies, and like at the perfect center of both of those movies, you will find me and Abysmii having a beer.
Yeah. There's a Venn diagram. At one end is Bloody Pit of Horror. At the other is The Void. And the center is alcohol.
Yes.
Fuck. Okay. I will say, like, this movie, I love this type of movie. And when I say that, I mean, like, not just what it is, but what it inspires. Because after we stopped watching this, and even during when we were watching this, I'm just thinking to myself, holy shit, this needs to be a video game. I could write a song based off of this. Why wasn't this the most recent Silent Hill thing? Like, good fuck, this did it better.
I'm sitting here thinking, like, I want to dig out, like, my old Call of Cthulhu, like, role-playing books and shit like that, and yeah.
God damn it. This movie it's very unpretentious.
That really is the best word for it.
Yeah, it's not pretentious. I love Mandy. Mandy is so style over substance, which not a lot of people are down with, but I don't mind it. And it's a very, very high art film as far as its presentation. I love Mandy. But The Void, it knows what it is, and it knows how to be what it is so well.
Mhm.
And I can't, like, I really can't respect that enough given its budget. Just, I feel for teams who make these things because they are working like so shoestring and they do not have the backing of major studios for the most part, but they do it because they love it and it shows so much in every scene of this fucking movie.
There are, without spoiling anything, survivors
Yeah.
at the end of this film. Like in any other horror movie, like a survivor getting out is like a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
You and I were both immediately like, "You're just fucked forever now."
All of you are fucked. No one
Yeah.
came out of this unscathed.
No one's coming out of this having a good life.
And again, like that is so Lovecraftian, and it's a thing that a lot of people don't get. Like, you're not supposed to encounter a Lovecraftian situation and come out of it with your sanity intact. You are forever traumatized and scarred, and there is no coming back from it. That is what happens when you gaze into the void. Literally speaking.
Our saying the void counter may be up there with the Red Bull.
We did latch onto that fairly quickly.
Say don't actually do a counter.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Do that again.
Has he already entered the void? Probably in the void already.
There is no phone service in the void.
AT&T has the largest coverage per square mile per carrier, except for the void.
Look at wireless though. Weirdly good reception in the void. In the void.
In the void. There's nothing worse than losing a child to the void. Occasionally the void just opens up and lets baby screams out.
Anyway, I'm gonna get back to the void.
No smoking in the void.
Apparently I ate waffles in the void.
Your father punched the void in the face. What have you done with your life? It's the void, fool. This is the first film, I think, where, yeah, we were cracking wise and trying to be clever, and then, like, within 25 minutes, just stopped, because there's nothing else. There's nothing else we can poke fun at. It was just too solid. Holy shit. Oh my god. You and I have discussed Silent Hill before.
I love him some Silent Hill.
I don't know if I've ever told this.
Specifically the first two games.
I don't know if I've ever told this story on the podcast before, but like I haven't played them myself. I did not grow up with consoles, so I kind of missed that boat. And I've heard, you know, there's other ones you can play now, but they're not the early Silent Hill, so don't bother. But when I started releasing music under the Abysmii moniker, people were like, this is so reminiscent of Silent Hill. So I looked into that, and I've watched a lot of playthroughs, and I, you know, totally agree. Like, oh my god, this is something very special. And as I understand it, like after 3, and I know you haven't played 3 yet, I've seen playthroughs of 3. I think you should play it. I think it's a very good game.
I'm tracking down a copy of 3. They're expensive as shit.
I will say it's not 2, because nothing can be 2, but I think it's very, very solid. But I'm watching this movie and just going, did no one just think to do this for a Silent Hill game? Like, all the elements are there. Why can people not just put this together with this, like, I don't want to call them nobodies because they're not nobodies, but like this kind of obscure, unknown team of people who are very, very good at cosmic horror and just fucking with perception. Why is this not just easier to do and to put into video game format? It bewilders me. It bewilders me that there's stuff this competent and this well thought out that can't just like blow up in some AAA studio. It's just so strange to me.
I've talked about this previously, but the circumstances in which I played the first Silent Hill game, maybe the most perfect circumstances to play the game in.
Okay.
I was in my early teens. I had been a Nintendo lifer.
Okay.
But then, over a summer, I started babysitting for a family that lived across the street. They had a PlayStation. They had Silent Hill. And I could only play when the kids went to sleep. So I would play that game instead of sleeping. I would do that for like weeks at a time. And in perfect darkness, because while the kids were sleeping, all the lights in the house were off. Right. So I was playing the first Silent Hill in my early teens, sleep deprived and in complete darkness. And that game fucked with me in such a beautiful way.
Yeah.
But yeah. Hey, fucking directors of this movie, this video game, I want it.
Yeah. And
Makers of
Konami,
video games, we want this video game.
Konami has completely just given up on Silent Hill, and fine, whatever. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that someone else can't pick up where they left off. And I think a lot of people try this. I see this all the time in the indie video game scene, whatever you want to call it. Everyone is trying to recapture the magic of early Silent Hill, which is not an easy thing to do.
There's something to be said about like the current era of superhero films we're in.
Right.
You can tell a superhero film was made by someone who is raised on comic books, as opposed to someone who's making a studio movie. And I am waiting for that game that was made by someone like raised on shit like Silent Hill and stuff like that, who just fucking gets it.
It's gonna happen. Like,
Gotta happen.
this is tangential, but sorry, this is just how this review is gonna go. Every time I go back to CVS, my local pharmacy, fucking Sugar Ray is playing. And I love it. I love Sugar Ray. And I realize, oh, the music from my childhood has finally caught up to being mainstream because that's just how old I am now. And that's okay. And that's a good thing because that means people from our era are now making things and calling the shots. So
it's the whole thing of like when people talk about, you know, like, hey, music back then was the best. And people talk about like how great music was in the 60s. They're talking about like
sliver of the music that was released in the 60s.
And it's an era where fucking Sugar Sugar by the Archies was the thing that was actually being played on the radio.
Right.
It takes society time to catch up to what was actually good about back then.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted. I love music. I love discovering new music all the time. I don't think good music is relegated to any one era. But
yeah,
people who appreciate things like Silent Hill, growing up with it, being able to inject that into media like this, like The Void, and that being a contemporary offering is great. And I cannot wait to see more of that. I can't wait to see more of it in video games, in cinema, in whatever. I'm very excited. And it's really refreshing and invigorating to know that shit like The Void exists. This is released in 2016, which is not that long ago.
Said like we're gonna be going off on weird tangents. It's because we're not trying to tell you too much about this movie. We really want you all to watch.
Really? No, like yeah, I don't want to. We could run through the plot by the numbers, but a lot of it is just looking at what's on screen, and we could describe that. We could describe that in excruciating detail, but it would not do the scene justice. You have to experience it as it happens in the movie in sequence. We can gush here about how good those practical effects are and how reminiscent they are of insert 80s movie, insert Cronenberg, insert Silent Hill, like whatever. We could go through that, but that is a disservice to the actual movie, and I don't want to do that personally.
But if we had to make that equation, there is some Cronenberg there. There's very specifically like some The Thing. When we're talking about practical effects.
Yeah. You know what? This is a weird time to be in. The Thing, was that 86? I forget when The Thing came out.
I think it's, yeah.
Yeah, like The Thing came out a while ago, but and then everyone gushes about The Thing, and rightly so. It's really fucking good. That came out. Psycho Gorman came out not too long ago. For anyone who follows Dead by Daylight, The Dredge just came out, and that is clearly inspired by The Thing. It's a bunch of just people in an amalgamation into a monster, and it's also very Lovecraftian. And then we watched The Void. Like, the stars are just aligning for this shit right now in my life. It's just funny to me.
1982 was The Thing. Apparently.
82, fuck. Okay, well, I was close. What else? God damn, like, there's so much we could say. I just don't want to spoil anything. Let's talk about characterization. Everyone in this movie feels believable.
And we kind of get into, like, maybe some horror movie tropes from characters. But
a little bit.
They're done well enough. Like, even the characters who have kind of like horror movie tropes, they have an arc.
Yes.
Specifically, the intern,
Kim. I really appreciate Kim's character because you'll hear this on the commentary track, but yeah, I definitely fell into, oh god, I don't like you. You don't even want to be here. I don't like you and your attitude. I really don't. You are a terrible nurse.
I'm not a nurse. I'm just going around stealing people's applesauce.
You carry a medical text, but people just think you're a nurse.
One set of scrubs, it's free applesauce for life. We were immediately like, into the horror movie like "Boo, I Hope You Die" sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Kim has an arc, and by the end of the movie, I like Kim.
Yes, yes. Kim has an arc and it's well earned. Our protag doesn't really have an arc, but I am happy with where he ends up. The big bad, you could say you could see it coming, but not all of the reveal. Like there's elements to what the full reveal is that you don't suspect it. It is just, oh boy. Oh boy. Goddamn. Was not prepared for that.
It is a decent enough turn.
Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What else? What else? Yeah, no, characterization is good. The music is great.
My favorite character, Grandpa.
Grandpa. Favorite character? Oh boy, if I had to pick one.
Grandpa gets the nod just like, man, I don't even remember the specifics, but there's just a bit where Grandpa just, like, in the midst of all of this, just punches someone in the fucking face.
Oh, yeah. I think it's when not Donald Pleasance called his granddaughter a teenage slut, but I could be wrong.
I think it's something like that, but yeah. Grandpa having enough of everyone's shit and just like blasting someone in the face is why I love Grandpa.
It's pretty good. Yeah, no, there's a character in here who I just kept looking at and going, that's a young Donald Pleasance, but clearly not because it's 2016. But goddamn, I wish Donald Pleasance was in this. But you know what? That would make this a very different movie, and I wouldn't want that to happen.
Without spoiling anything, we're talking about like tropes paying off. I want to talk about Maggie.
Okay.
Who is the actual granddaughter of Grandpa.
Yes.
Who, like, part of the driving force of the plot is that Maggie is a pregnant teenage girl, and Allison is trying to save Maggie. It's very much implied that the part of the driving force is that Allison had previously lost a child.
Yes, which is that lamb connection coming back.
Yeah, there's that lamb connection. But that felt like a trope, and I was a little iffy on that. But without spoiling anything, it absolutely pays the fuck off.
I remember, like, when we got the introduction to Maggie and Grandpa, I remember thinking, I don't even know if I said it, I just thought to myself going...
It even pays off. It even pays off in the way not in the way we theorized it was going to pay off.
Yeah. Yeah, like I remember thinking like, oh, you know, is this that beaten to dead trope of, you know, deadbeat father not going to be here type of thing? No, like that shit, that comes back in spades how it's revealed. Holy hell. But that's what I love about this movie too. That's not even the best part of this movie. There's so many bits and pieces that are just scene stealers. And it really did feel to me like a video game. Like I'm just playing through levels, and each level, the end of it is just like, holy shit, oh my god, this whole setting is amazing.
When they get to the basement and the fucking practical effects team just like flexes their boner at us.
Yeah, that scene especially, oh my god. I think I did say on commentary at some point, there's a scene where Officer Protag has his shotgun and his flashlight out, and Sean lights the flare behind him. So you have this backlit silhouette thing happening. It probably takes up 0.85 seconds, but it was like perfect. It set the tone and the ambience perfectly. Then everything after that for that basement scene is just practical effects orgasm. It is so fucking good. And it's like the reason that I think we gravitate towards these indie horror films, because they're just knocking it out of the park. Oh.
In case anyone listening was curious, this movie's fucking rules.
No, really. Oh, you know what? No, okay. So we skipped the plot of Bye Bye Man after a while.
We skipped the plot of Bye Bye Man because fuck that movie.
Yeah, fuck that movie. We suffered through the plot of Chopping Mall for other reasons. So we've been glib on other movies before, but we're glib on this one because seriously, go watch this.
Episode's not out yet, and I have like so many friends that are like, "You watched Chopping Mall finally." God, I just don't get it.
I don't. It's not bad. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's too self-aware, but even then,
maybe we were expecting too much of it. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe. And that's just that, you know what? hype trains are real, and you all got to be careful with that because the damage is also real. You know, you set your expectations too high, and you're just not going to have fun going into it. I'm sorry, but
Even describing the premise of Chopping Mall, it sounds like it should be a good time.
yes, that's a movie that has a great trailer. Like, even the trailer hypes you up for going into that, but then the actual movie is just it's a bit of a flat line. I really don't get it. I don't get Chopping Mall. And that's okay. I don't have to get Chopping Mall.
We don't have to get Chopping Mall.
No.
There's plenty of other good B movies out there that we know nothing about that I'm sure will surprise us.
Definitely. And you know what? If things
maybe that's the issue.
Maybe.
We went in expecting it to be a bad B movie that we were going to be entertained by. Yeah.
I think a lot of it, and this is kind of speaks more largely to the raison d'etat of Jaymeson tapes, is a lot of this stuff you kind of just have to discover on your own. Like, imagine if all of your horrorhead friends had tried to describe Bloody Pit of Horror to you. How would that even happen? Would you even have watched it? And if you had watched it, you would just know too much. That you have to be surprised by these movies. You have to just stumble upon them. And I think Chopping Mall, like I said, Chopping Mall is not bad. But if you're hyped up too much, it's just you know, it's just bad. But like Sade, when he mentioned The Void, told us nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. And thank you, by the way, for that, Sade, because as I said, all I heard was like random shit from like a random YouTuber about this and said, this is very, very good. And I was like, okay, I'll watch that at some point. And immediately forgot about it because it's just called The Void, which is not a bad title, but it'll get lost in the shuffle. And yeah, again, this is why we're not saying anything about it. Like, go watch it. Please go watch it.
Please go actually watch this movie.
I'm trying to think of other like wider implications to talk about this because that's vague enough. If you know what, this is one, and this is just how things are right now, post-pandemic and all that, but this is one where if you and I were in the same city and we could watch this in theaters, I would have loved to have seen this in theaters because the soundtrack is
100%.
It's fucking solid, and listening to it, I can hear everything and I know how it was achieved, but I still know that it's on point. They did not waste a budget on this, or even if it wasn't that big, they found people, and I did recognize the name Lustmord, who does a lot of cinematic dark ambient stuff, and he knocked it out of the park, as he usually does. Damn it. Okay. I don't have a spider room moment for this movie, because... Oh shit, we gotta talk about that. What else? I think last shift we didn't have a spider room moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the explanation we're going to offer as the official explanation is that it was a solid enough movie that we didn't really have one.
Yeah.
The excellent explanation is that we got drunk and forgot.
Which will happen.
Because I said from the beginning when I pitched Spider Room moments, and yeah, you can go back and listen to the audio for proof that maybe it's a thing we'll only do for exceptionally bad films.
Yeah, if there's a moment that warrants it, we'll point it out.
Yeah, but retroactively, while we're on the topic, in last shift, I'm going to say the sudden appearance of Chair Jesus.
Yeah, Chair Jesus was great.
Yeah.
I don't have a Spider Room moment, but...
Oh, okay. No, say...
Okay, is it though?
Right.
Is that a Spider Room moment? Because I feel like that moment in the Void was 100% planned out, and they were aware of what they were doing.
I guess we have to define what a Spider Room moment is.
Okay, so the Spider Room, for everyone who has not seen the pilot, and if you haven't, what the fuck are you doing? It's in Bloody Pit of Horror, and it is like meticulously planned out, and it's a giant set, and a lot of money and time is dedicated to it, but it's the most batshit crazy thing that just does not achieve what it's trying to do. So in my opinion, and please, feel free to disagree with me on this, it is where someone is trying to do something and fails so spectacularly that it's just funny. That's my definition. What is yours?
In my opinion, Spider Room moment is a moment of pure unintentional joy.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, if we're
That
going
to
by
me is
that
a spider.
definition, then yes.
Yes.
If we're
Okay.
going
So
by
like,
that definition, then in the last shift, when not the sheriff, who's the commanding officer? I forget his name, but the main antagonist in my mind of that movie, when he takes our protag to the evidence room and says, "This is all like super nuclear radiation fallout,
yes.
and if you let people get in here, this whole city's gonna burn." Like, and then he's just fucking with her. That was great. I love that moment so much.
So maybe a spider room moment is just like the perfect meeting point of like absurdity and joy.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
And if that is the case, then Sade is 100% right. Is
Yeah.
absolutely the when one of the characters in the film gets killed by a monster
Yeah.
and they're maybe worried about him being like infected by whatever the monster is. They just put the body on a stretcher, and we don't see them do this. We just, in the next scene, see a stretcher with a burning corpse just get awkwardly shoved out the door.
Out the door of a hospital into a parking lot, and it's just on fire, and there's no fanfare, there's no music, it just happens.
There's no pomp and circumstance. It's just a fucking thing that happens. And
I think
it just falls over and burns on the ground.
and the lines preceding it are like, okay, you don't trust me, and I don't trust you, but I know I don't want to fucking be here when that thing wakes up. And then they just shove it out the door and it's on fire. And it was,
So yeah,
it felt so intentional that I hesitate to call it a spider room moment, but I can concede the definition.
whether it hit us unintentionally or hit us in exactly the right way, it hit us.
That was really good. I think, again, this movie knew to do that early on because the rest of the film does not have moments like that. It doesn't have moments of like, we got to be funny here. It's all very serious and very just kind of grounded in its emotional tone. So it's not going to be one of those movies where it's like, and then we got to have a joke here, you know?
I know I mentioned it, but I feel like I need to stress this a little more. These were the same people that did fucking Psycho Goreman.
Yeah.
We're talking about differences in tone.
Yeah.
That's some violent whiplash right there.
Uh,
Also, everyone, go watch this movie and also Psycho Goreman. Watch them back to back.
Yeah, Psycho Goreman. I don't think we've talked about on the show before, but Psycho Goreman is, other than like Tucker and Dale versus Evil, probably the best horror comedy that I can remember in recent years.
Yeah, I'd put it up there.
I can't think of another one off the top of my head right now. It does have one of my favorite lines, which is something along the lines of like, time is only a material concern to beings who have not learned to traverse the fifth dimension. But it's said in such a dismissive manner that's fucking great.
I have been keeping track in a Google Doc of like movies we like recommend for aside from the movie we're watching for everyone to watch, and I think so far, Future Alan, it's this one, Psycho Goreman, and Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh. I'm still processing this movie. There is a lot packed into it, and the pacing and the editing is very, very good. You miss a lot on your first viewing, and the same thing happened with Lamb. I actually rewatched Lamb with my parents and Paprika because we have kind of an impromptu movie club, and I had to show them Lamb because number one, I wanted to rewatch it and see what I missed, and sure enough, I think my mom like noticed something that I didn't, or had like a good take on something that I didn't. So this is definitely a movie I want to rewatch and pay
For
attention because holy shit, like there's thematic elements that, because when you first see these like practical effects, you're just kind of like, oh my god, they pulled that off and it looks great. And then you go back and think about what those actual effects look like and go, oh, okay, there's meaning behind this that isn't just looking creepy. And I don't want to spoil them because I don't want people to just like be like, when does it happen? When does it happen? But I will say the final Lamb connection we have with this is there's a scene where like a monster has to be killed with fire, and they light the monster on fire, and in the flash in the background is the Virgin Mary carrying the baby Jesus. It's just like, god damn it, how many more movies are we gonna watch about childbirth? And I think I said immaculate deconception at some point.
Yes.
And like that's kind of what this movie is about. If I had to give any more inkling, it's immaculate deconceptions. Any more of this dick we want to suck?
I could suck this dick all fucking day.
Seriously.
I was just reading Saints Coming.
Oh, I'm gonna cut together all of this. I was looking at Rotten Tomatoes. I didn't see that he said that. Yeah, no, go for it.
Sure. Release the sucking dick cut of the Jaymeson tape. Jaymeson tapes, the Sade cut.
I want to suck dick. I enjoy sucking dick. We gotta call that like DVD extras or something. Just Sade's cuts. Okay. To bring it back, I know I said
like to suck the dick of Grandpa.
To bring it back, I know I said that critics weren't getting this, but I was skimming the Wikipedia section and I went to Rotten Tomatoes, and in a weird turn, this has a 78% critic score, 47% audience score. So,
what?
Yeah, I know. Like, how audience didn't enjoy this is beyond me. Y'all suck. You don't know what you're talking about. But I'm glad. I'm glad critics found this and are just like, yes, this is a good movie. It knows what it's doing. I'm happy. It's not like requisite for my opinion, but it's nice to see. And you also might like section. I'm just saying, the first hit's The Windmill Massacre, which I've never heard of, but fuck, we might need to watch that.
That's a hell of a title.
It's pretty. And then Pod, which has an 80% critic score, 25% audience score, and it's very much about alien abduction. So I'm going to add those to the list just for consideration, and we'll see. But goddamn.
But yeah, real good movie.
Very.
You know what a real good movie deserves?
A very good drink.
Real good cocktail. Need to get serious on this one.
Okay. The Void drink. I am all ready.
We want it to be black.
Yes, you and I have been talking about the Cauldron a lot, which is a wonderful, wonderful themed bar out in Anaheim. I think it's in Anaheim. We've both been, not together. We need to go together, but we've both been. And they have they're like horror themed, so, right up our alley. But they have a drink called the La Louisiane, which is this like, kind of like a Cosmo, but like with teeth on it.
It's a Manhattan.
Manhattan, thank you.
It is vermouth, Benedictine, absinthe, and Peychaud's bitters.
That drink hits like a truck, but all in the right ways. And so
all the right ways you can be hit by a truck.
I don't want to remake that drink, but I want to recreate that experience, because every time I have had that drink, it's powerful, it evolves over time, and it's drinkable. But it's really like, when you have the Louisiane, you're just kind of like focused on, holy shit, this cocktail is just a masterclass in craftsmanship. And that's what I feel about this movie, The Void. So you're right. It has to be dark. It has to be dark. It has to be punchy, but it has to be satisfying. And it has to, after you've taken a sip, it's still going on in your mouth. It's evolving. There's an aftertaste, and that aftertaste is still good. It's not a bad one.
You know a flavor for me that kind of evolves?
Okay.
Blackcurrant.
Blackcurrant. Okay. Bold, but appropriate. And I haven't had a lot with blackcurrant, so let's do this.
Okay. So I don't know if the blackcurrant would be subbing for anything in this. You got rye. You want to go a specific direction for rye? Rye is going to be the base.
This is tough. This is tough because a lot can go with blackcurrant. Like, we could even do a vodka drink if we really wanted to.
Because for a movie this good, I'm not just going to say, like, Bullet.
No. This has to be the good shit.
No, like Knob Creek or anything like that.
No.
You know a rye that's got a lot of depth? It's good, but it's also, like, dirty. Whistle Pig.
Okay. Whistle Pig rye, blackcurrant.
I'd say we keep the sweet vermouth.
Yes.
Would pair well with how dirty Whistle Pig is.
Simple syrup, or maybe even champagne. If we need to build this out a little bit.
Whistle Pig, a rye, and I'm gonna say Punta Mess for the vermouth. I'm gonna say let's cut the absinthe in half.
Okay.
And get a little silly with the blackcurrant.
Okay.
Instead.
Yeah. No, definitely for color too. Yeah.
Yeah. We can keep the bitters though.
Yeah.
That's gonna round everything out.
So rye, vermouth,
Whistle Pig rye, Punta Mess, vermouth,
blackcurrant, liqueur,
blackcurrant, 18,
absinthe, bitters, and then we have to have a garnish.
a slice of apple because of the applesauce.
I forgot about
Throw
the sauce. Yeah, okay. Slice of apple awkwardly shoved into the lip of the glass.
You could toothpick an apple slice.
You could, yeah.
Yeah, I think a toothpick garnish goes better for a Manhattan.
I would drink this. I would drink this.
No, this sounds delicious.
Might go ahead and make this when I'm not dumping all my money into something
Who knows?
else.
Maybe this will be our second one we actually try on camera.
Oh, I would love that. I would love that. We could just do that and shoot the shit. That would be so nice.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good fucking cocktail.
What are we calling it?
Good.
Just the void?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I can't think of a better thing to call it.
It's super dark. It's just here's the void. Drink it.
Here's the void. Drink it in.
And Cauldron, if you're listening, because I know you listen to this podcast, if you want to take this and run with it, number one, pay us royalties, and number two, I expect to see it on the menu.
We didn't change up a whole lot from their recipe, but I think
Didn't need to.
It will all balance out.
Yeah, no, like they have a very solid drink there. Really, if you find yourself in Anaheim and you can get a spot at the Cauldron, we're not sponsored, but if you would like to, go.
Good bar food too.
Yeah, no, great bar food, great atmosphere, everything. Seriously, go spend some time there. You know, if you find yourself at Disneyland or whatever, take a little bit to go off of Disneyland and go check out the Cauldron and get the La Louisiane, because that drink is an experience. And that's what I think the apex of mixology is for me, is you make something really, really good that's arresting and a little hypnotizing or mesmerizing, and the imbiber is just like, oh man, this is good, and I feel good in this situation. And that's, again, that is this film. It is an amazing viewing. It's very well crafted. There is so much love behind it. I cannot sing its praises enough. Go watch it.
That's really all I got too. You know what else I got?
Do it.
In my left hand, I don't have a peanut butter stout this time. I have a chocolate stout.
Ooh, which one?
It is Four Hands Chocolate Milk Stout.
Haven't had that one yet.
It might be local. I don't know.
Okay.
And in my right hand, I have a shot of peanut butter whiskey.
Oh, okay.
Let me sink and drink this first.
Do it.
Oh my god, it was good.
Nice.
And aside from our cocktail, I've had two winners here on the show today: the peanut butter nitro stout and the Chambord, and the chocolate milk stout with the peanut butter whiskey, which I think is Bird Dog, which is
yeah, I've heard Bird Dog. Yeah,
it's like $15 a bottle.
that's good shit.
Yeah, I guess that's our show.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry for how tangential this one was, but
Yeah, but go watch the fucking movie.
you really did not want to spoil things, did not want to give too many plot points away or scene reveals. This is something that has to be seen, and it is just so fucking good.
It's a $3 rental on Amazon. Fucking pay for this movie.
Do it. Yeah, no, they deserve the money. Whatever.
Give them
0.03 cents they're
whatever
getting.
cunt. Whatever cut of money.
Whoops.
Give them whatever cunt. Give them whatever cut of money they get from Amazon Prime and just watch this fucking movie.
I might buy this movie because
I'm trying to buy more physical media lately.
Yeah, same.
And yeah, I might seek this out.
Holy shit. And everybody go into the comments section, go on Twitter, go on the Discord, and in addition to following and commenting on Jaymeson Tapes with the hashtag, thank Sade for recommending this because holy shit, Sade's taste is apparently immaculate. Because goddamn.
Also, thanks Sade for babysitting us for this show.
Thanks, Sade, for typing out a novel's worth of fucking synopsis that we didn't read. Because we decided last minute, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to recount the plot.
Also, if you're hearing weird sounds, my cat is nuzzling my microphone in an effort to get me to pay attention to him.
Oh yeah, I think within like the first 20 seconds of us like hitting play, you're like, why now? Now recording. All right.
Why now? Yes, Slimmy.
It's okay. Pets are allowed to interrupt this show all they want. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
The Jaymeson Tapes is hosted and created by Alan Cheney and Abysmii. If you have a movie suggestion for the podcast, please leave a comment, message us on the Creative Horror Discord, or tweet at Creative Horror with the hashtag Jaymeson Tapes. Creative Horror is a network of creators working together to build a constructive community of horror fans. Please visit us at creativehorror.com.
Welcome to the Jaymeson Tapes.
Yeah.
I am Alan.
And I am Abysmii.
And we just want to suck dick.
We are very, very shithouse. And we want to suck dick.
I could suck dick all fucking day.
I love fucking good dick. Sucking dick is so good.
So good. Instead of watching a really good movie, we were just sucking dick.